Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share a recent game that I played over the board at the Parma Chess Club. Um, Actually, this past Tuesday on March 10th, and this game was against Dave Bumba, and I was rated 1667, and Bumba was rated 1800 something, maybe 1808. I'll put it up on the screen. But this game is pretty wild and features a a computer line that I looked at before and went for during the game, and it just results in a very like crazy type position where we both sacrifice a rook basically. But all right, well, I think visual is better than words on this one, so let's have a look. Okay. I started with the move e4 and Dave Bumba played e5. And I played f4, the King's Gambit. So I have been playing this against Dave Bumba for over a full year now, a full year and 2 months, in fact. And he plays the same defense against us every time, which is bishop c5. Now, I mean, the most critical lines are to take the pawn and then maybe go into a Fischer defense with d6 or just play g5 right away, holding onto the pawn. That's possible. But Dave Bumba chooses to simply decline the gambit with bishop c5. And his idea is he's going to play d6, and he's just going to play chess, and this bishop could be extremely annoying, maybe stopping me from castling. Okay, and this is called the King's Gambit declined classical defense. Now I play knight f3 because you want to guard the h4 square. And normally he plays d6 here. And honestly, Dave Bumba is not somebody who studies openings. He's probably a better chess player than me. I'll admit that. but I definitely know openings better than him, to say the least. And he played this move without realizing that he normally plays d6 here. So okay, um, what's the big deal? He's developing a knight. He could develop this knight too. He could play d6. Well, the difference is that now I can go into this crazy line, okay? And I'm about to show you what I mean. So, first of all, it's like, why can't I take this pawn? Why can't I take it? I have it attacked twice, and he has it defended once. But the thing is, in order to capture this pawn, I will need to move my knight, and my knight is guarding h4. So this line has to do with, can I allow queen h4 check? Because then I probably have to play g3, and then my e-pawn's hanging. So when he takes here with check, then I can play queen e2, yes, which x-ray defends my knight, which will be on e5. Well, anyway, maybe I should show you what I mean. This line is kind of nuts, but um, it's also very interesting to me, and this kind of speaks to computer engines in a way, especially weaker ones, I want to say, like the engines on Chess or chess.com. They're usually not going to go into high depth and go long into the variations. So sometimes those evaluations are incorrect. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Stacia, computer engines know better than you. You're only 1600. Okay, fair enough. But what I mean is that I played the move f takes e5, which the engine says is plus 1.87 advantage for white. But if you follow the line to its conclusion, the computer goes calculates farther at that moment and then says it's just about equal. So okay. So I played this. I'm like, hey, I'm going to take it. And he played here. And here I played the move I prepared, which is knight takes e5. And again, the computer says this is overwhelmingly correct. But if you go through the lines, then it doesn't necessarily believe that later. And I feel I have other options here. What options do I have? I feel like c3 is a move. You know, I could try to throw d4 into the mix. He could take here in that case. I'll take with my queen. And then the check isn't so scary because I can block g3 and the queen defends e4. Okay, but without further ado, let's go into this. I took this. Dave Bumba found the best continuation too, and this speaks to what a good player he is. I think, you know, he had a rough year this last year, but he's been back on his game lately. So queen h4 check, the obvious move, and he probably thought he was winning here. But that's why I like this line. g3, queen takes, and now queen e2, x-ray defending the knight. So if he takes the knight, I take with the queen. So pretty interesting. But the other thing is that my rook is hanging. Whoops. Did I mess up? I didn't remember this right. No, this is actually possible. I can sacrifice my rook on h1, and then I play the move knight g6 because I have discoveries on the king. Very interesting, right? So here is pretty much the starting position. Well, actually, I would say after bishop e7, which he played in the game. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't play yet. My bad. Wait, yes, he does. And then I take here. Okay. I had this prepared. Okay. Yeah, so this is the first new move I didn't know, was knight f6. So yeah, this is our starting position, and I do want to note that in this position, the only move is bishop e7, and this is kind of why I chose this line, because I think it's fairly easy for black to misstep. Like if they go king d8, I go knight takes rook, and the problem is now I'm threatening knight takes here. So he has to do something about that. And that's checkmate, by the way. So queen d5 is the move. But then I can play bishop g2. And now he has to maintain defense of the f7 square. So, you know, I mean, it says queen e6. Okay, fine. But now I can just take. And I could even go here. And I think here, you probably want to save his pawn. But here the computer really likes white. Essentially, we have a material advantage. He does have an extra pawn, but if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm up a minor piece. And I would gladly play this game up a minor piece. So there you go. Computer says plus 3.6. So just kind of showing you some of the venom in this line that I discovered and thought was pretty cool. He did not do that, though. He didn't blunder with king d8. That is blundering. He played what is the best move. Knight e7 kind of is interesting, but he played the best move, bishop e7. So simply blocking the check with the bishop. If I take the bishop, he will gladly develop his knight to the e7 square. And before we continue, let's do a quick material count again. So after bishop e7, I'm going to take here. He took my rook, I'll take his rook. It's Barney chess, right? And now it's black to move, and he played d5. But what's the material count at this point? So I've got a knight, 2 bishops, and then a knight that is pretty horrible in the corner and probably will get captured, but it's a knight nonetheless. Black, on the other hand, has 3, 2 bishops and 1 knight. So I'm actually up a piece for a pawn right now. And when I was looking at this on my own, I kind of concluded that this position's a little wild, yes. But I think my development scheme of d4, knight out, bishop out, and castles is a worrisome problem for black because the queen's located here at the moment. And also I may not get to rescue my knight, but I may get to take the f pawn with me, and there might be tricks with that as well, because the king would be dragged if he wants to recapture, and then I might have checks. So I might have a check here, I might have a check here, um, might even have a check here at some point. I don't know. Sorry for all the arrows. So anyway, without further ado, I'll show the rest of the game. But I'm pretty enamored with this opening, so I hope you're enjoying this too, because I never used to play opening positions like this. But now I'm trying to, because I want to play real chess. I want to play crazy chess, positional chess, all of it. I want all of it. Okay, so he played d5, and this was my first think. Oh wait, did he? No, he did not. He played knight f6. I'm so sorry. He played knight f6, which I do think is reasonable. And I mean, he might even have this plan, which is kind of funny. But then I would take here. So I guess not. But the computer gives the move knight a3 here, which I think is really fascinating. The idea being, if he doesn't stop me, like let's say he plays d5, I'll go ahead and play knight b5, and I'm attacking a sore spot. So I think that's pretty interesting. He does have this tempo move, but then I could go here. And now it says rook d8 or bishop d8. So if rook d8, it allows me to take the pawn if I like. But maybe my knight's a little awkward after this. No, I can't take this pawn. It's heavily defended. So I would have to play from here. But okay. After knight f6, I thought a while, and I was looking for tricks, like with taking. And I was looking for ways to trap the queen. I would love to play bishop g2 right now. Well, actually, no. But I would love to play against that queen somehow. Like, can I bring my knight out and guard squares that the queen wants to evict to? But okay. I ended up going with d4. I didn't find anything. And he played d5, and now we're actually developing. And I like this move, bishop f4, which, let's see if the computer agrees with me. Yeah, it's the best move. The reason being, I'm developing with tempo. I'm saying, hey, I just might take your pawn. And, so maybe you should defend it. If he defends with a bishop, that's horrible. It would wreck his pawn structure, right? So, oh, and it's pinned. I totally forgot it's pinned. But I don't think black really, in this kind of position, you really don't want to waste time defending, but he did. He played c6. So I got a free tempo of development. So now I played knight b to d2. And now I'm threatening to castle queenside. So black has to be careful. But I do like his next move. Bishop g4. I think he could also try, like this is an idea, but maybe it doesn't work. Bishop here attacking my pinned bishop. This can be annoying, except for the fact that I do have it defended by 3 things. The queen, the knight, and the king. So in that case, now if I do castle though, I wonder what happens if I castle. Skewer. That's what. Okay. So castles is not a good idea. But maybe I could play bishop d6, attacking the pinned bishop. So, okay. After bishop g4, though, I decided to play a pawn sacrifice. I mean, I'm playing nothing but gambits lately, And it's sort of taught me the value of a pawn in a different way, in the sense that can I give away a pawn for some kind of other pressure or play, and some dynamic play. And I went with the move Queen E3. And see, this is why I think playing Gambits has been helping me, is that this is the top computer choice too. I'm saying go ahead and take my pawn if you like. It's kind of another waste of tempo. And then I'm going to play bishop d6. And what are you doing about this? It's tough to defend. I actually thought he might play knight g8. So let's have a look. He did take here. One thing about knowing your opponents is that you can predict them better. And Bumba has never seen a pawn he didn't want to take. Let me just say that. So he took it as expected. But now bishop d6. Now he must have seen this. But in this point of the game, he thought at least 5, maybe 10 minutes. And this is a rapid game. So I'm actually going to look at the score sheet real quick. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like up until, well, as you might expect, after knight takes h8, when I played that move, I had 28 minutes on my clock. But I spent over half my time in the next 6 moves. And then when I played bishop d6, I had 13 minutes left on my clock. And he had about 13 after his move as well. And he played the move castles queenside. Now, I have to admit to you right now that I missed this. I totally missed this was possible. I was thinking he couldn't castle, but that king is not in check. It's not going through check. Totally illegal move. So I was pretty sad that I missed this. But on the other hand, I calculated from this point, and I thought I still had a really good advantage. And, well, actually, in this exact moment, I'd like you to pause your video and see if you can determine if white has a winning game here or not. Okay, and so hopefully you found the move bishop takes. I think there's really nothing else we can do. Let's see. Computer gives queen f2. That looks crazy to me. Doesn't that just give up my bishop? It does, but maybe I have this. And do I have that immediately? Well, if I do that immediately, he probably just takes the bishop, right? This doesn't really guard it because it's attacked twice. Yeah. Yep. Black's winning. So I don't think that's an option. So the best move is this. And now the shocker is that the computer engine calls this a draw. Okay, it calls it a draw. Equal. Triple zeros. But we need to understand what's going on here. Now during the game, I calculated the move rook e8. What could be more natural? Pinning my bishop to my queen, which is pinned to my king. Very dangerous. And I saw here that I could play knight takes f7. Now I'm threatening check. And I thought this is a big issue for him. If he wants to bring his king up, I think that loses. I could simply go knight e5 check. Now the pin is broken. And if he takes here, I think he's going to get destroyed. And if he goes king c7, I think I'm in really good shape. I could even just, let's see. I could just take this bishop. I'm also wondering if I could just do this. I could probably do this. Can I take that? Let's see. Knight takes, well, this comes with check. And then knight takes. That seems unnecessary. But I could play, what about queen f4? That's interesting. Now I could take the bishop. Okay. So as you can see, these positions are a little wild. So here I thought, he doesn't have a lot of good options. I was calculating the king moving, and I was calculating knight g8, I thought, after this. But the problem is he has rook takes e7. Okay, I missed this move, so I'm missing things. And this is why I need to play more games like this to understand everything. I should have checked this move. It's always a good idea to look at captures, right? And I missed the fact that he can take my bishop. And now, if I don't do something, I mean, that's he's going to take my queen next. So also my knight's hanging. And I thought, okay, I could take here. And, well, I have to share with you a lesson that I learned this game, okay? Because I think anyone that takes a moment to look at this position will see that queen takes rook is inadvisable because you undefend your g-pawn. That means queen takes g3 is possible. That comes with check. And looking at that, how do I get out of check? Well, the answer is you don't. It's queen g3 mate. So now I'm capable of calculating that. I really am. I'm especially capable of seeing that I'm undefending my pawn and the queen will take a check. Okay, I'm capable of seeing that much. And if I see that, I think I'll see that it is mate. But I did something really bad in this game, and this is why I think this game is so valuable, is that I did take the rook, which is horrible, hanging mate in 1. But the real question is, why did I do that? And the answer to that question is disturbing to me. It's that I didn't think, I panicked, and I just saw the rook pinning my queen to my king, and I just thought, I have to take it. I have to take it. I have to take it. What do you got? And I didn't think, I did not calculate, I didn't look at what he was planning. Now, I had, like 4 minutes left, but still, 4 minutes is plenty. And he played here and he said, I think it's mate. And I was like, oh, it is mate. Good game. So I lost this game, which I thought was otherwise pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. And yeah, so what a lesson. So here is what I concluded about this. Okay. Why did I take the rook? Well, the answer is I didn't calculate. Why not? And I think the answer is I've been playing a lot of blitz chess online, lots of blitz chess, and I'm pretty sure that I have, as a result, programmed myself to just be like, make quick decisions without fully evaluating them. And this is one of those quick decisions where I'm like, oh, if I don't take the rook, then I'm going to lose my queen. So I have to take the rook. And I simply played it with no more thought than that. And that is horrible. So I'm very much on the edge of giving up blitz chess. I think I may do so for a month because it is enjoyable, but I think I think this is a clear example of how it hurts my game. Now, you could argue that it was dumb of me to not see this earlier as well. That's probably true, but I don't want to lose for this reason, taking this without thinking. And I think my brain just was on autopilot. So there you go. This happened. I'll put it on the board. Very painful. Stacia, look at that. Look at that. It's like when you put it, it's like when the dog like goes to the bathroom on the kitchen floor and you stick the dog's nose in it to kind of teach the dog, don't do that. Like I'm sticking my nose in this position, okay? My own nose is going in this position because this is horrible. I hung mate in one, and yep, I guess even 1600s are capable of this. Actually, I've heard that 1800s are capable of this, maybe even 2000s. Probably not 2000s. But if I'm going to progress from here, I'll need to, I think, prevent moves like this and therefore give up blitz. So wish me luck on that endeavor. And as I often do, if you've stuck with me this long, hopefully all this talk was interesting. We're going to go through the game quickly and look at the key moments and come up with a conclusion. Okay, so we had the normal line until knight c6, and I actually love this computer line. I think it's quite interesting. And I think that as I play this more, I will get better and better at this type of chess, which is really what I'm interested in. And here, knight f6. So I'm going to keep this line for now, even though this is the first time I've had it. Okay, I think d4 was excellent. So developing bishop f4, and all of this was good. Now bishop g4, I actually like my decision to play queen e3, which the computer agreed even, which I wasn't totally sure about. And bishop d6, all of this is good, but now is where I need to start calculating deeper. Because although I saw, I didn't see castle's queenside. That's one mistake. And the other mistake is that after castle's queenside, I saw bishop takes, rook here, knight takes. I saw all this, threatening this. But I missed rook takes bishop. I missed rook takes bishop. So I think an excellent lesson for me is that it's not enough to look at candidate moves in the position on the board. I think I need to get better at looking at candidate moves like 2 full moves in, like I guess 4 moves between white and black. In those positions, in my mind, imagine the candidate moves. So like here when I say rook takes bishop is a candidate move, you would think I'm talking about this. And you would say it's white's turn. But I'm really talking about this. So 3 moves later, rook takes bishop is a candidate move, and I miss this. I miss that a lot. So, yeah, unfortunately for me, this was played. And then my true blunder of the game was basically a psychological mistake. Rushing and panicking. Not recommended. So I took this thinking I had to, and he took here. So that's the game. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't make the same mistakes as me, okay? You guys, if you're watching this video, learn from my mistakes too. And also, if you've had any similar experiences, I would love to hear them in the comments. So please like, share, subscribe my videos, and I'll be back with more chess. Thanks for watching. Bye.